the Agribusiness Report, I'm David Geiger. 2015 turned out to be one of the biggest production years in Iowa ever, but like most years, it had its highs and lows for farmers. I followed Corey Goodhue here in Carlisle from planting to harvest for this Agribusiness Report Special.
You spend all your money and you have no idea what you'll raise, what the weather, because at the end of the day, weather is really what drives your productivity. We try and drive especially nitrogen, because soil is a horrible place to store nitrogen, so that starts with what we do pre-plant. This machine that's behind us, we use to apply our nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So we have nitrogen from ammonia, and we use a small amount from ammonia as our pre-plant, and we stabilize it with Inserve. You never want to put all of your nitrogen in one spot at one time. Just too much risk. Managing that weather risk this time of year is real important. But yeah, it's that balance between, getting the most growing degree units and not planting too early that you lose it. Right now the conditions are gorgeous, but it's been all over the board. I would say this has been an early spring and the conditions are real good, so it can go both ways. You never know what next week will bring for the weather. It's been a 2-day span, about 4 inches of rain, but everyone upstream of us, we were seeing reports of anywhere from 6 to 8 inches. And that just all has to come downstream. And all of this water is bottlenecked by Red Rock. And so Red Rock has to protect like Ottumwa and everyone downstream. Well, I think the worst thing is a field where you have corn that's 6, 7 foot tall. We'll probably lose it because the water won't be off of it in time. And so we have a tremendous investment already here. We've basically put all of our money into it, and now most of the crop won't make it. It's like a small business that opens and has all the inventory, and then it never sells and they can't get rid of the inventory. The beans behind us were probably planted about the 20th of July. Right now we need to cover the ground as a method of weed control. A crop is your least expensive weed control, as well as the hope that you'll raise something. The cost of putting in this late crop is usually pretty low. It makes the season drag on. Like today we worked on getting the stuff ready for harvest, but now we're out, trying to spray 6-inch tall beans that were planted a few weeks ago. We've had an awesome August and July for growing late planted beans, with pretty consistent rainfall. Even through September we've had real nice consistent rainfall, and it's late rains that make late soybeans. And the original planted beans that were flooded, the ones that made it, just barely made it. And so their yield was significantly impacted by that water damage. But anywhere where the beans are ripe, we want to get them, because you'll start to see them dry down and shatter. And hopefully the late planted beans will make it to the 1st of November even before we harvest them. So we've got all of our normal planted crops harvested now. It's kind of nice to see a gamble pay off. We originally were looking just for a cheap ground cover. I've been really impressed with the ground that didn't flood, with the yield we saw there. If this crop comes in as big as it has in Iowa, I think the market will respond pretty negatively, and that'll be a big challenge. How do you market a crop at a loss? So that's a big concern as we look at this last year and into next year. We're getting close to the holidays, so happy holidays to everybody. So that's about it.
About 600 acres of the Goodhue farm was flooded, but I'm happy to report that all the late season planted beans were harvested. Thanks for joining us here, and I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. For the Agribusiness Report, I'm David Geiger.